I'm delighted to be joined by AIB ambassador and Camogie star Aisling Maher of St. Vincent's in Dublin for the launch of the first instalment of Meet #thetoughest, a new content series that will showcase some of the final stages of this year's AIB Camogie All-Ireland Club Championship through footage captured by cameras worn by the players for the first time in Gaelic games. The new series will allow viewers a unique perspective into the game, bringing them closer to the sport than ever before, all while championing Camogie and its players in the midst of #thetoughest championships. Aisling, it's great to get a chance to speak to you. How's things?
Yeah, all good. Thanks. Excited for the weekend ahead.
I would say, yeah, very exciting time, a Leinster final, and also going to be putting on the camera as well. So are you looking forward to that?
Yeah. Looking forward to both. Both slightly different things to be excited about for different reasons. But yeah, it's great that they're coming in together. Obviously, the Leinster final is something that was on the horizons from the start of the year, something we were working towards. The camera's an added bonus that's been thrown in along the way. But yeah, excited about it.
Oh, good stuff. And with wearing the camera, it'll allow, I suppose, people to see a different view of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We were chatting a bit about it before, and I think, it's a really exciting step for kind of women in sport and equality in sport, because it's going to give a really unique insight. Obviously, the player's perspective is something that's not usually captured. Camogie and women's sport in general probably doesn't get the same coverage and the same quantity of cameras and camera angles and analysis and everything that we get in the men's game. So I think it'll be really exciting to get a new insight on the physicality and the skill, and get to see all those aspects of camogie that are probably often lost.
Yeah, like the physical aspect is something that we've talked about for years, and it's great to see that there's definitely strides being made, and we're seeing that there's more physicality in the game, which there should be. It's great to see. Is that important to get across the skill level, to get across the physicality? That's all important to showcase that?
Yeah, I think it's hugely important, for two reasons. One, for the promotion of the game in general, to everybody else, so that we can get the respect that we deserve, and so that people get to see that, the physicality is there, the hard work that goes into it, and the skill that the players have. And then also just, for the promotion of the game for younger girls coming up behind. I think it's brilliant to get to see that insight for how intense it is. And to kind of get that adrenaline rush off it, and hopefully give them that desire to continue to play and be part of it, and that want to be at that level.
Yeah, I was speaking to Aoife Prendergast there, and I was asking her, do you have any fears about putting the camera on? And she said she just hopes her touch is on. Do you have any fears?
Yeah, we're probably fortunate enough that we're forward, so we're not the ones doing the hanging out of and the talking to the markers and all that. We'll be hopefully protected by the cameras rather than in trouble by them.
Yeah, that's what she said, because it's outward. So she said it's going to be picking up other people, not me.
Yeah, exactly. We're probably getting the easy job of getting to wear it. Hopefully everybody else will be afraid to come too close to us. It might give us a bit of extra space on the day.
Yeah. And I'll bring you back then to the semi-final then against Birr. So a good win in the end. But I think defensively, you're really, really impressive as a team.
Yeah. Our defence has been hugely important to us, not just this year, but like over the last number of years. You probably won't find a more consistent six in the country than our six. They've changed very little over the past few years, and it's probably one of the hardest backlines to get into. Very fortunate to have a very strong defensive unit, which has won us probably more games than our forward line has, if we're going to be honest about it.
Well, yeah, your forward line is pretty good. We'll definitely not be taken away from that. Obviously yourself, Niamh Heatherton as well, like she got 2 goals in that semi-final. She's a brilliant player. How important is she in that forward line for you?
Yeah, we give Hedjo a hard time because she obviously plays football for the vast majority of the year and then comes back and is still better at camogie than the rest of us who've been slaving away the whole time. So if she does anything wrong, she gets a bit of a hard time for it, because we can't be letting her away with too much. But no, she's a huge addition every year she comes back in, especially like this year off the back of an All-Ireland win with the ladies footballers. So she obviously knows what it takes to perform at that level. She's a savage athlete, savage player, and she's a great addition when she does come back in, to just kind of let some of the younger ones and the rest of us around her see, what it takes to continuously perform at that high level, and how much dedication is required. So yeah, it's brilliant to have her.
What would you say?
I said that now, though.
Yeah, I know. What would you say? She's better at camogie or football?
Well, I think if she actually played camogie for
yeah
a little bit longer each year, she'd be streets ahead. The fact that she can still come back to the Camogie and play it goes to show how good she could be if she was doing it all year round. But look, she's a huge addition. To be fair to her, she's always managed to make Camogie the priority when it needs to be the priority. So we'll take what we can get from her. We won't force her to choose just in case she abandons us.
Yeah. And at the minute, obviously the current reigning Leinster champions, what do you think maybe as a squad that you've learned from last year?
Yeah. We've played, well, I've played in 5 Leinster championships so far. This is my 6th now this year. So we lost 3 of them before we won 2 of them. So probably you learn more maybe from the losses sometimes than you do from the wins. But I guess, the win last year was crucial for us because a lot of new younger players up on the team, just to give them that insight and that taste of winning, and I suppose just to instill that little bit of confidence and little bit of belief that we can compete at that level. Obviously you talk about Dicksboro and the Kilkennys and the Wexfords of the world are well established hurling counties, so sometimes maybe for the girls who haven't played intercounty before, there can be a little bit of fear or a little bit of uncertainty as to the level to expect. So I think last year was really important for us, getting a win against Kilkenny champions in the semi and then against the Wexford championships in the final. Was a really good way for us just to prove that we can compete at that level, and we'll definitely take that belief into this year as well.
Yeah, and what does it mean to the club? I'm sure it's a brilliant occasion to be back in a Leinster final.
Yeah, phenomenal. Obviously, we're focused on our performance and on our execution of the game. But like, if you were to get to a position of back-to-back Leinsters, that'd be a huge achievement for the club. I don't think the Camogie section and Vincent's have ever done that before. So obviously that's something that we'll be striving towards. But just getting the opportunity to kind of play and compete at this level is really, it's fantastic for Vincent. I think it's also fantastic for Dublin Camogie as well, to be honest, to have ourselves go out and to be able to compete at that level and to prove that we can mix with the best of the best. Obviously there's another couple of clubs in Dublin that are very close to us that we only just got out ahead of, so that'll build belief within the county as well, I suppose, that we do have the players to be forming a really strong county team then as well.
Yeah, and obviously you get to do it at county level, so you're used to that standard. I'm sure there's a lot of girls that are, getting to taste this standard, and it's a great opportunity for them as well.
Yeah, it is, and it's a big step up as well. You're kind of in your comfort zone, I guess, with county championships in a lot of ways, because you're playing them year in and year out, and you get used to what's to come, and you get used to what's expected. Even referees are familiar, venues are familiar. Bus journeys and car journeys are familiar, whereas it is that much different when you're, for some girls it's their first time traveling to other counties to play games, and obviously playing against opposition they haven't lined out against before, and new jerseys, new referees, new venues. There's a lot to take in there. So it's an exciting time for a lot of the younger girls whose first times it is, mixing with Leinster championships, and they'll continue to learn a huge amount from it.
And what can you expect now from Dicksboro? Obviously the Kilkenny champions, it's not easy to get out of Kilkenny, and then they had a great win as well in their semi-final over St. Martin's.
Yeah. Obviously, as you say, you respect any team that wins a Kilkenny County Championship. It's not an easy thing to do. There's always going to be good teams coming out of Kilkenny, and then I suppose that's for even more so when they've come out on top against a very strong Martins team. Obviously, we've played Martins, a good few times over the last few years. Drew against them in 2019 in Leinster Championship and had to replay them a second day before we were able to get out on top of them. So we know that any team who beats Martins will have deserved that victory and have a very strong team. Obviously, I know some of the girls down in Dicksboro, and they do have a really strong 1-15, very strong club team, and I don't doubt they'll give us a huge battle now on Sunday.
Brilliant. And overall, where do you think Camogie is maybe as a whole? I know during the summer the Camogie players and the LGFA played under protest to achieve that equality with the male players. You were one of the leaders of it. It was really powerful from moment, and then to see the outcome as well, it was great to see. Where do you think Camogie is at the moment?
Yeah, it's probably a difficult one to answer, to be honest with you, at the minute, because obviously we're not in season with county.
Yeah,
a lot of the teams will be getting back together kind of this month and next month, and obviously, as you said, we played under protest for a lot of the championship, and thankfully we got to a position where that was put on hold because we had an agreement with LGFA, Camogie and the GAA that we would work towards an agreement of a charter for players in both codes. We haven't had any update on what that charter is, or any kind of cementing of the details of that. So I guess as a player, you're always a little bit apprehensive until you do get something in concrete. So I'll definitely be kind of eagerly watching and listening to what comes from the GPA, from Camogie, from the LGFA, and really hopeful that, you know, in the next couple of weeks that we do see something a bit more concrete, because as I said, the vast majority of players will be back traveling, incurring costs over and back to gyms and meetings and stuff starting up this time of year. So we're definitely at that pivotal point where I want to believe that the protests and everything, you know, were heard and were respected, and that as was hoped at the end of the season, that there will be a conclusion reached sooner rather than later. But I think until we get something firm in writing from both Camogie and the LGFA, that players agree to, you know, it's you're still a little bit skeptical and just hoping that everything does come true on that.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean as well. It was really powerful to see you take the stand. Why for you, Aisling, was it important to do that? Why do you want to make sure that there's change?
Yeah, I guess like I'm probably 10 years now playing Camogie with Dublin, or since I started playing Camogie with Dublin, even more than that maybe. And you know, a lot has changed, a lot has improved. The standing of women's sport has come on massively in that time. But there are still significant gaps between, you know, the way that I'm treated as an intercounty female Camogie player versus any of the lads who play in Vincent's, who play with the hurlers or with the footballers. And, you know, some of those gaps are huge and are insurmountable to some young girls coming up. You know, I was fortunate enough that I was in a position to have a car and drive to and from training when I needed to. But the costs associated with things like that are huge, you know. You're talking about girls who are in college, maybe working part-time if they're able to, and they're trying to, you know, have expenses to cover everything that goes with it, from petrol, cars, insurance, you know, even gear, nutrition, all these things that are just automatically chopped down for the lads, regardless of whether they're playing in the first division or in the lowest division. And, you know, I don't think that as a female player, we could have continued to stand over the conditions under which we were playing, because it creates a divide for younger girls coming up, that if they're not in a position to financially support themselves, then you have girls who would not be able to play intercounty camogie regardless of the abilities that they had. So I think it was really important that as a collective, and I'm glad we were able to do it across camogie and the LGFA, to just take a stand and say, you know, enough is enough, and we need to be treated with more respect.
Yeah, we definitely hope from next year on there's definitely better standards and a lot more equality across the game. We hope to see it. So this Sunday you have a Leinster final to look forward to. Dicksboro in the AIB Leinster Senior Championship final, Netwatch Cullen Park at 2:45. I'm sure any time you get to play in finals is great, but a Leinster final, it's a little bit extra special.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, relish the opportunity to play in any final at all, but Leinster finals come around, I guess, that much less regularly, that definitely have to kind of take stock of it all and soak it in and enjoy it, and enjoy the build up and the experience.
Yeah, we talked lots about the county there. What does it mean to you to play for Vincent's? What does your club mean to you?
Yeah, look, the club means everything, I guess, insofar as, you know, that's where you started. I think I'm about 22 or 23 years playing with the club at this stage, and, you know, some of the girls that I'm playing with there are the first ones that I would have had as role models, you know, without having kind of the platforms that we do now for younger kids coming up. The senior girls in my club were the ones that I saw playing at that level above me, that I was striving to be as good as, you know, the likes of Ali Maguire and people like that, and having the opportunity to line out, you know, alongside them now, and having been fortunate enough to win Dublin championships and Leinster championships with them is something that's extremely special. Even my younger sister is on the team as well this year, so my first time winning a Dublin championship with her, so that's obviously, you know, a special thing that doesn't come around too much, and getting to do that with the club is hugely important.
Oh, that must be nice for your family too.
Yeah, my mom's delighted to picture the two of us on the side of the fridge.
Good stuff. Well, Ash, thanks so much, and the very best of luck now on Sunday.
Cheers. Thanks, Ash.
No problem. Thanks a million. I'm delighted to be joined by AIB Ambassador, Camogie star Aoife Prendergast of Dicksboro, Kilkenny for the launch of their first instalment of Meet the Hashtag the Toughest. It's a new content series that will showcase some of the final stages of this year's AIB Camogie All-Ireland Club Championship through footage captured by the cameras worn by the players for the first time in Gaelic games. The new series will allow viewers a unique perspective into the game, bringing them closer to the sport than ever before, all while evaluating and championing Camogie and its players in the midst of hashtag the toughest championships. Aoife, it's great to get a chance to speak to you. That sounds very exciting. Are you looking forward to getting the camera on?
Yeah, hi Aisling. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the content myself now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think in Gaelic games, it's something that we've always wanted to see, to be able to hear the players more, to be able to see more. You know, it's very exciting. It's a very maybe American thing to do, but it'll show a different side of the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Like, you're always trying to visualize yourself looking out the way. So to be actually able to see that now, it'll be great, yeah. And it's going to showcase Camogie and the game itself. It's going to showcase the skill and the physicality of the game, which is great. That's what we want as players.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's been so much talk about the physicality in Camogie and allowing more physicality. We're starting to see that now, and I think that's a great side of things, that it's starting to improve that way.
Yeah, no, it's great, and it's great to have it in Camogie as well for the first time as well. Usually these things start off with the men's teams, but for it to start off with Camogie, it's great.
And having the camera on, do you have any fears?
No, I actually don't, to be honest. When you're putting it on nearly, you're more fearing than when you have it on. We done a test shoot there a few weeks ago, and it's actually just like wearing a GPS, to be honest. You wouldn't even notice it then once you're out on the pitch. So yeah, it's all good.
And does it pick up the sound and everything too?
I think it does. Yeah, yeah, it picks up sound, and then it's like almost a fishbowl out in front of you, and captures the action from there.
And obviously you're a really experienced player with Kilkenny as well. What do you hope comes from this? Like, what, for people that mightn't have such an insight into Camogie, what do you hope comes from this?
Yeah, look, as I said previous, I hope it showcases the skill and the physicality of the game itself, and hopefully that's what it captures, and we can showcase that then from the footage gathered.
Brilliant. Well, first off, winning a Kilkenny championship, that's no easy thing to do. Just how competitive is the championship?
Yeah, to get out of Kilkenny, it's very difficult, and we've known that over the last few years. We've had huge battles with a number of teams in Kilkenny, and we were absolutely delighted to get out of Kilkenny. That was our main focus this year, to try and get out of Kilkenny, but we had to go match by match, because no matter what team you're coming up against, it's always going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a physical battle, and every match in Kilkenny is really competitive. So yeah, we're so grateful to get out of Kilkenny.
And at the minute now, obviously, you have the Leinster final to look forward to against Vincent this weekend. Two brilliant teams. So I know it's going to be a cracker of game. I'll bring you back to the semi-final against St. Martin's. Obviously, another good team there, and a really close battle as well.
Yeah, no, St. Martin's are a great team, and great credit to them. It was a very good match, and as all spectators said the same. Yeah, it was a huge dogfight. The skill, the physicality of the game, it was really brought out in that match. And credit to St. Martin's. They're a great team, and they put up a huge fight against us. And hopefully that match will stand to us now going forward.
Yeah, 110 to 8 points in the end, and if I'm right in saying you got 8 frees on the day. How important is the free taking?
Yeah, sure. The girls around you have to win the frees, or you have to win the frees yourself before you get the opportunity to take them. And yeah, I suppose just this time of year there is going to be a lot of frees. It's tough conditions, so yeah, free taking is obviously huge. But if they're not going well for me, there's girls around me there to step up and take my place. So yeah, it is important, but you have to win the free first.
Yeah, it is tough conditions. I think we see that a lot with the club stuff. You know, when you get the frees, they're crucial, because you're not going to have a hell of a lot of chances in the game, maybe as you would during the summer. Do you do anything away from the pitch to practice yourself on your frees?
Yeah, definitely. There's a gang of us there that meet up, and I say they're sick of poking balls out to me now, taking frees. But yeah, look, you have to go out as a free taker. You have to be out there before training, after training, and outside of training, just practicing yourself. And there's a few girls on the panel that be very good free takers. So we kind of go out together. We might have a bit of a competition among ourselves. So yeah, that's what you do.
Oh, I'm sure it's good to have the competition. So growing up, did you always take the frees?
No, not really. Kind of on and off, to be honest. I might take a few for when I was in primary school. I took a few, all right. But as I said again, there's a lot of girls around my age that are good free takers for Dicksboro, so it kind of varied throughout. Even at the start of this year, I actually wasn't the main free taker. It would have been Orla Hanrick, and she got injured then, and I just went on them and just kept the flow going from there. But she's ready to step up in case they're not going so well for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it is nice to have someone else there that if you're having an off day, they can step in. And I'm sure in a successful team, that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, that's it exactly, and it takes the pressure off you as well. Like, you know, going out, if I miss two frees, I'll hand them over. Like, and you know, you have every faith in whoever's standing up there to take them again. So yeah, it's a peace of mind, I suppose, and it's less pressure. Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about Dicksboro as a club.
Yeah, it's a great club, and it's a great community in general. We're one club now, so we're all in it together. We've great facilities out there. We've access to the gym. We've access to the clubhouse. We have a wall ball. Yeah, it's a great community, and there's always something going on out there.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you're all one club. I think that happened maybe about 4 years ago or so, if I'm right in saying. How important was that for you, for the Camogie team to feel a part of it all and to feel I can go down and use the gym whenever I like and be a part of it, and yeah, to use all the
Yeah, that's
facilities?
it exactly. We can use all the facilities now. We've great access to the gym. We're always using that gym, and it's great to like get the pitch as well. Like the lads are so good to us in terms of like if the senior men aren't on the pitch, we have access to it then straight away, which is great. Even last week we were playing in our home ground, and the men out there, they had the pitch in great condition for us. They kept everyone off it for the week, no training on it. Everything was on the far pitch, and they kept the first pitch in great nick for us, which was a credit to them, and it really contributed to the game itself.
And tell me a little bit about the team. You have a lot of young players on there too that are well able to step up.
Yeah, that's it. We're like a little family out there. We're like a pack of sisters, and then we have our management as our parents almost. So yeah, we're very close. Close group, and yeah, we've few young players, but they're well able to step up. They're fighting for a position there as well. We've a good few girls. We've a very strong panel, to be honest. You're always looking over your shoulder, seeing who's ready to come on for you, and you know if you give 110% and you can give no more, that there's a girl just as good as you coming on next. So yeah, no, it's a great group, and I'm honoured to be part of it.
Yeah, and obviously you'd be well known for Kilkenny as well, but how important is club for you?
Yeah, look, I always say it, and club is where I started, and it's where I'm going to finish as well. Like, it's a great honour playing with my county, but everything comes back to my club. This time of the season, you won't even be thinking about county. You'd just be 100% focusing on your club. Yeah, so everything, I'd give everything to my club. Yeah.
Ah, that's brilliant to hear. And obviously the Leinster final this Sunday, playing St. Vincent's at Netwatch Cullen Park at 2:45. So yeah, an exciting one to look forward to. What can you expect from St. Vincent's?
Yeah, look, they're a well experienced team. They've some big players on their panel, so yeah, they're going to be a great team, and we're going to have to bring our best performance if we want to get over the line on the day. But yeah, they're a very well experienced team. They're a great team, and we're really going to have to bring our A game.
Yeah, reigning champions at the minute. So do you feel you're going in as underdogs?
Yeah, I'd say we are, yeah, but sure, it's not a bad place to be, but we just have to focus on ourselves now, and credit to them, they are a great team, so we're just going to have to be ready for them.
And a Leinster final for the club as a whole. It must be a massive occasion.
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, we were there a few years ago and we didn't do ourselves justice, to be honest. So we want to redeem ourselves on that. And yeah, we hope to get huge support because it's a great day for our club. It's not often you get to be in a Leinster final with your club. So yeah, it's a great day and we hope to bring huge support.
Yeah, 2 years ago, that was against Oulart. So
Yes.
I'm sure you took a lot of experience from that game that you'll hope to right some of those wrongs, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. I was asked during the week what we take from that game, and that's what I said, experience. That's what we needed. We were a very young team back then, so we didn't really know where we were at. So yeah, to take the experience from that game and drive it on now and hopefully get one step further.
Brilliant. So you'll have the camera on, and I think Aisling Maher will have the camera on, and one of the other girls from St. Vincent's as well is going to do it. What is your team like about it? Do they know that you're going to be doing it?
Ah, yeah, they don't mind at all. Again, once you have it on you, you're just focusing on the game itself. You're not really focusing on the camera itself. But sure, all our games are streamed or we do video analysis and stuff like that, so they're used to a camera being around. So it hopefully it won't be any different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, brilliant, Aoife. Thanks so much, and the very best of luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Aisling.
Thank you.